So we'll start with the introduction as to what is surrogacy. Surrogacy is an arrangement often supported by legal agreement where a woman, who's referred to as the surrogate mother, agrees to bear a child for another person or persons who will become the child's parents after the birth. So in India, there are four types of surrogacy. The first pair of types are traditional surrogacy and gestational surrogacy, and the second pair is altruistic surrogacy and commercial surrogacy. So first, what is traditional surrogacy? It's in traditional surrogacy, the surrogate's egg is used to create the embryo of the child she's going to carry, whereas in the gestational surrogacy, the intended parents create an embryo using their own egg and sperm or using donated egg or sperm. Now, the second pair is altruistic surrogacy and commercial surrogacy. In altruistic surrogacy, where the surrogate mother receives no financial rewards for the pregnancy from the genetic parents except the medical expenses. Whereas in commercial surrogacy, the mother is paid over and above all the necessary medical expenses. So next we'll be discussing about the evolution of surrogacy laws in India. India legalized commercial surrogacy in 2002. The immense growth of surrogacy in India led to a growth of several commercial firms and firms claiming specialty in surrogate laws and guiding. And sorry, does anyone need to speak anything? All right, I'll start this again. So now we'll be discussing evolution of surrogacy laws in India. India legalized commercial surrogacy in 2002. The immense growth of surrogacy in India led to a growth of several commercial firms and firms claiming specialty in surrogacy laws and guiding and assisting foreign tourists who came urge of having an Indian mother rent her womb for blessing of a child. Such arrangement can be considered to be exploitative in nature, as they are not only encouraging baby selling but also diminishing the dignity of women's reproductive capacities. So the 228th report of Law Commission of India has recommended for prohibiting commercial surrogacy and allowing ethical altruistic surrogacy by enabling suitable legislations. So in 2005, the Indian Council of Medical Research issued guidelines to regulate surrogacy arrangements. The guidelines stated that the surrogate mother would be entitled to monetary compensation. The guidelines also specified that the surrogate mother cannot donate her own egg for surrogacy, and she must relinquish all parental rights related to the surrogate child. So the major case laws which led to the 2016 surrogacy bill were, the first case was Baby Manji Yamada versus Union of India. In this case, the Supreme Court held that surrogacy is permissible in India. The biggest impact of Baby Manji Yamada decision has been that it spurred the government of India to enact a law regulating to surrogacy. And the second major case law on surrogacy was Jan Balaj versus Anand municipality. So in the Gujarat, in this case, the Gujarat High Court ruled that the birth certificate of the child born through surrogacy will carry the name of surrogated mother as against the biological mother, and the child would be granted a passport of India which certifies him as the Indian citizen. The Supreme Court here felt a grave need on this subject, which made way for the proposal of the bill of the parliament. So all these cases have provoked academic interest and has brought the surrogacy ban bill into existence that rules out surrogacy rules for foreign citizens approaching Indian mothers. The ban is already in place through a letter dated 28 September 2015 from ICMR to all clinics in India that directs them not to assist foreign couples on having a child through an Indian surrogate mother. So now we'll be discussing the major bill on surrogacy that is introduced in the parliament in 2016, that is the Surrogacy Bill 2016. So we'll quickly discuss the salient features of the bill. So few features that are most important in this bill are to allow altruistic ethical surrogacy to intending infertile couple between the age of 23 to 50 years and 26 to 55 years for female and male respectively. The intending couples should be legally married for at least 5 years and should be Indian citizens. The intending couples have not had any surviving child biologically or through adoption or through surrogacy earlier, except when they have a child and who is mentally or physically challenged or suffers from life-threatening disorder with no permanent cure. And the next one is the intending couple shall not abandon the child born out of the surrogacy procedure under any conditions. The child born through surrogacy will have the same rights as available for the biological child. And the next one is the surrogate mother should be a close relative of the intending couple and should be between the age of 25 to 35 years. She can't act as surrogate mother only once. The surrogate mother will carry a child which is genetically related to the intending couple. An order concerning the parentage and custody of the child to be born through surrogacy is to be passed by a court of magistrate of the first class. An insurance coverage of reasonable and adequate amount shall be insured in favor of surrogate mother. And further, National Surrogacy Board shall exercise the powers and shall perform functions conferred on the board under this act. The National Surrogacy Board and State Board shall be the policy making bodies, and appropriate authority will be the implementation body of the act. Further, the surrogacy clinics shall be registered under this act after the appropriate authority is satisfied that such clinics are in position to provide facilities and can maintain equipments and standards, including specialized manpower, physical infrastructure, and diagnostic facilities as may be prescribed in the rules and regulations. Further, no person, organization, surrogacy clinic, laboratory, or clinical establishment of any kind shall undertake commercial surrogacy. That means there's a complete ban on commercial surrogacy. Or abandon the child, exploit the surrogacy mother, sell human embryo or import embryo for the purpose of surrogacy. Violation of these said provisions shall be an offense punishable with the imprisonment of a term which shall not be less than 10 years and with fine which may extend to 10 lakh rupees. So further, the surrogacy clinics shall have to maintain all records for a period of 25 years. And the last point, I guess, is yes, subject to these provisions of this act, there shall be provided a gestation period of 10 months from the date of coming into force of this act to protect the well-being of already existing surrogate mothers. So now, as I have mentioned about the National Surrogacy Board and the State Surrogacy Board, so the National Surrogacy Board shall consist chairperson, minister in charge of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare as the vice chairperson, the secretary to the Government of India in charge of the department dealing with the surrogacy matter. Members should include 3 women members of parliament, 3 members of ministries of central government from women and child development, legislative department in Ministry of Law and Justice, and Ministry of Home Affairs, not below the rank of joint secretary. Yeah. So the functions of National Surrogacy Board will be advising the central government on surrogacy policies, laying down the code of conduct of surrogacy clinics, and supervising the functionings of state surrogacy boards. And the functions of state surrogacy board would include monitoring the implementation of the provisions of the act and reviewing the activities of appropriate authorities functioning at the state and union territory level. So this bill was passed in Lok Sabha, but it could not be passed in Rajya Sabha due to some disadvantages. So those disadvantages disadvantages are the right to life under Article 21 of the Constitution enshrines the right to reproductive autonomy, inclusive of the right to procreation and parenthood. It is not the domain of the state to interfere with such rights. It is a prerogative of the persons to decide the mode of parenthood, that is, whether to have child born naturally or by means of surrogacy. Article 14 of the Constitution guarantees fundamental right to equality. The bill restricts the limited and conditional surrogacy to married Indian couples only, and further disqualifies other persons based on their nationality, sexual orientation, marital status, and age. They shall not stand the equality test and the test of reasonable classification under the article. The bill also contradicts the law of adoption in India, as Section 7 and 8 of Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956 and Section 57 of the Juvenile Justice Act 2015 allows conditional adoption for single and divorced parents. Lastly, besides this, the bill bluntly ignores the fact that women who opt for being surrogate mothers are from economically vulnerable backgrounds, and for them, surrogacy is a source of livelihood. A complete ban on commercial surrogacy deprives them of their livelihood and rather expects them to undergo reproductive labor without any compensation. So, after keeping these disadvantages in view, the Surrogacy Bill 2016 was re-evaluated and Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2019 was introduced in the Parliament. So the primary objective of the bill of 2019 is to prevent unethical practices arising out of surrogacy services in India. Moreover, the term close relative, which the surrogate mother has to be, is not defined in the bill of 2019. One of the challenges that a couple is bound to face is to identify and then convince a close relative to act as a surrogate mother. This is still a challenge even under the 2019 bill. A possibility worth exploring is to allow both friends and family to become surrogate mother. This will increase the zone of consideration and decrease the hardship for a couple to find a surrogate mother. So the bill was reintroduced and passed in Lok Sabha, as I told you, in 2019, and then sent to Rajya Sabha, where these provisions of re-evaluated provisions of 2016 bill were debated, and the inadequacies were highlighted. So with the view of addressing them, the bill has been referred to a 23 select committee of Rajya Sabha, and the bill is still not passed in the Rajya Sabha. So the conclusion here is like the need of the hour is holistic and well-rounded legislation regulating surrogacy, which will stand the test of time and constitutionality. It is therefore imperative that the deliberations of the committee are carried swiftly to iron out the creases and reintroduce the bill in the next session of Parliament. Thank you.